Let me call upon stage Nitin Soni.
Louder, louder, louder. Come on, louder.
दोस्तों, success in any field is 70% psychology and 30% mechanics. किसी भी फील्ड में, in whatever field you choose, success is all about 70% psychology and 30% mechanics.
मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं, विराट कोहली ने सेंचुरी मारी थी क्या डेब्यू? अच्छा, सचिन तेंदुलकर ने मारी? अच्छा, धोनी ने मारी? But all of these three individuals are legends. In spite of the fact that they did not score century on debut. Even if you are not able to score century on debut, you can still become a legend if you take few things right. Understand this.
Why do you want to become what you want to become? Why do you want to get that success? Why do you want to get that degree? Why do you want to become a rank holder? Why do you want it? Answer your why.
They are compromising on their potential. You have amazing potential in you. Why do you want to restrict it? You're not supposed to restrict your potential. Warren Buffett has 97 different streams of income. 97. And the day I realized, the day I noticed it, I said, 97? What the hell? What is the difference? The difference is in their psychology. That's where the entire difference lies. That's the main thing. You need to understand your psychology, your mindset. Ushme kya chal raha hai? That's what you need to focus. Excellent. And I knew I would be the top scorer in the institute. And that's exactly what I did. Each and every paper that I gave, when I came back home, I said, I'm ready for the next one. And I did that. Ready for the next one. Did that. Then I waited for my results. And on the results day, what did happen? I failed. What is it that I can do now? At the best I can study. At the best I can put in the hard work. At the best I can do whatever is possible for me to do. What else can I do?
He actually looked at the big portrait of Mount Everest and he said, Mount Everest, I know you are failing me. But the more and more you fail me, the more and more I'm getting determined that one day I'm going to stand on top of you. Do you know why, Sir Edmund Hillary said? He said, do you know why? Because you, even as Mount Everest, cannot grow any further. But I, as a human being, will keep growing. That's my message to you. Keep growing. No matter what Mount Everest you want to climb in your life, you can. If you have the right mindset and if you do not let your failures enter your mind, why? Because it's your responsibility, friends. It's your responsibility. Nobody else is going to work hard for you. Nobody else is going to bring your dream in a silver plate and say, hey, here is your dream, enjoy. No, that's never going to happen. You will have to work hard. You will have to put in the hard work. You will have to work the midnight call. You will have to make your dream come true. The responsibility is yours. I cannot do your push-ups for you, can I? Can I? Of course not. You will have to do your push-ups.
What do? You notice that you are not the only one who is watching that dream. You are not the only one having that dream inside you. When there are 1,000 other mothers who are having the same dream for their sons, what do you do to make the dream of your mother come true? You outwork your competition. You outwork your competition. You get up early. You work harder. You stay longer. You do whatever it takes. You got to overwork. You got to outwork. You got to outsmart everybody else. Because if you don't do it, someone else is going to do it. If you don't do it, someone else is going to do it. If you are not getting up early, someone else is getting up early. And he is going to grab your position. He's going to grab your position. Understand this. You got to outwork your competition. If it means doing anything that you have not done till date, you should be interested in doing it. Learning techniques, learning facts, programming your subconscious, whatever it may be. Be ready to outwork your competition.
My intensity multiplied. My hunger multiplied. My seriousness multiplied. I prepared like hell. I was actually doing things that nobody around me was doing. I was studying for 12 hours a day and I said, no matter what happens on the results day, I'm going to give my best shot in this again. I studied like anything. And I did all those test papers, working studies over and over and over again. I revised over and over and over again. And I gave my exams to the best of my ability. And all the results to the screen said, pass.
Unless and until you answer your whys, you will not be able to remain motivated. You need motivation? Answer your whys. Answer your whys. Why do you want to do what you want to do? Is it because of your father? You want to make your father's dream come true? Is it because of your mother? Your mother is looking a dream for you and you want to make her dream come true? Is it because of your siblings, your brother, your sister, your other family members? Or is it probably because yourself? You say, I want to become rich because I want to prove to the world that I am a rich person and I'm not a poor person. You got to answer your whys. Why do you want to become what you want to become? Answer your whys. Because this is exactly where motivation lies. What are you waiting for? Whatever it takes. Even if it takes for you to learn something, learn it. If it takes for you to work hard, work hard. If it takes for you to get up early in the morning, get up early in the morning. If it takes for you to work in day in and day out, do it. He was a world heavyweight champion in boxing, Mike Tyson. डरते थे लोग उसके नाम से. और Mike Tyson won 37 fights back to back. अपनी लाइफ की पहली फाइट से लेकर 37 फाइट्स तक माइक टाइसन हर एक फाइट जीतता गया. एक भी फाइट वो नहीं हारा. और पीपल यूज्ड टू स्वेट बाय हिज नेम. करते थे लोग उसके नाम से. 37 फाइट लगातार जीतना इज नो गेम. एंड ही वाज द वर्ल्ड हेवीवेट चैंपियन. 37 फाइट लगातार जीतने के बाद जो 38वीं फाइट उसकी थी वो थी अगेंस्ट जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस. और ये जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस कौन था? कुछ भी नहीं. अ नॉर्मल बॉक्सर, वेरी नॉर्मल बॉक्सर. कभी भी अपने लाइफ के अंदर हेवीवेट चैंपियन नहीं बना. कभी भी उसने कोई बहुत बड़ी चैंपियनशिप नहीं जीती. वेरी नॉर्मल बॉक्सर. 38th मैच माइक टाइसन का अगेंस्ट जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस. It was a one-sided match. They said Mike Tyson is going to win anyways. सारा मीडिया हैरान, सारी दुनिया हैरान. Mike Tyson lost the match. 38th fight, Mike Tyson lost it. How come? ये कैसे हो सकता है? सारा का सारा मीडिया पागलों की तरह जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस के पीछे. बस्टिन डगलस, ये तुमने किया कैसे? How did you just won against Mike Tyson? Impossible. How could you do the impossible? ये किया कैसे तुमने? He said, before this match, my mother declared to the world that her son is going to beat Mike Tyson. She declared it to the world, to the relatives, to the friends, everybody, and she was extremely happy. और जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस ने कहा, माँ क्या कर रहे हो? Why are you doing that? I'm not too sure. She said, you are not sure. I am sure because I believe in my son. My son is going to beat the hell out of Mike Tyson, and my son is going to win. He said, it was my mother's dream that I beat Mike Tyson. It was my mother's dream that I become the world champion. It was my mother's dream that I become a true champion in my life by beating Mike Tyson, and not just Mike Tyson, whoever it may be. And my mother died 2 weeks before this match. He said, my mother died 2 weeks before this match. And I wanted to make her dream come true. He said, I wanted to make her dream come true. Mike Tyson के अलावा अगर वहां पर 100 Mike Tyson भी होते, उसके बावजूद मैं ये मैच जीतता. Because it was my mother's dream and I wanted to fulfill my mother's dream.
तो ये सोचता है कि मैं स्पेशल नहीं हूं. अगर यहाँ एक भी सोचता है कि मैं वर्दी नहीं हूं, मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है उससे कि आज की शाम अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ बिता लेना. आज की शाम तन्हाई में अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ बिता लेना और आपकी माँ, आपके पिताजी आपको बताएंगे कि आप कितने स्पेशल हो. There is nobody in the entire world who has a fingerprint like you.
Luck, नसीब. कई मैं से देखता हूं जो अपने नसीब को पकड़ के बैठते हैं, जो ये कहते हैं कि it's only and only because of my luck. If I'm failing, it's only because of my luck. नसीब की वजह से आपकी जिंदगी में कुछ नहीं होता. मगर दो तरह के लोग हैं, बिलीव करते हैं नसीब, कुछ बिलीव नहीं करते नसीब के ऊपर. आप मुझे एक बात बताओ, अगर आपकी नसीब की वजह से ही सब कुछ होता है, अगर आपके लक की वजह से ही सब कुछ ये हो रहा है, तो मेहनत क्यों कर रहे हो? मेहनत करने की क्या जरूरत है? और अगर नसीब में नहीं लिखा तो मेहनत करके क्या उखाड़ लोगे? क्या उखाड़ लोगे? नसीब को लेकर के मत बैठो. जब आप अपने नसीब को देख करके कहते हो कि भाई कभी ना कभी तो चमकेगा, आपका नसीब आपको देख करके कहता है कभी तो समझेगा. आप नहीं समझते.
You command respect, power, recognition, social status, everything. It has amazing power. I am the king of the jungle now. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy.
Yes, indeed, that is true. What you just heard is indeed true. Friends, welcome. Welcome all of you to day 16
of the Superpower Success Summit. आज का सेशन एक यूनिक सेशन है, मगर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सेशन है। दोस्तों, आधा सफर हमने पूरा किया। 15 दिन का ये सुपर पावर सक्सेस समिट विद योर सपोर्ट। We are right now, we are on day 16 today, and the last 15 days were absolutely terrific. Every single speaker who came in the last 15 days, they shared their ideas, their wisdom, their experiences, their tips, their hacks with you on 15 topics. And that was amazing. Now, today, we are moving ahead. आज हम और आगे बढ़ रहे हैं दोस्तों, और आज एक ऐसा सेशन, एक ऐसा यूनिक सेशन मैं कहूंगा आप सबके लिए लेकर आ रहे हैं, जो शायद आपको एकदम से देख करके ऐसा लगे कि अरे success summit, we normally talk about time management, law of attraction, entrepreneurship, business, sales, marketing. Suddenly, Nitin sir, what, breast cancer? Well, this is a very important topic that we need to talk on. और आज हमने ये डिसाइड किया है कि इस समिट में we will talk about breast cancer. Yes. और ये बहुत जरूरी सेशन है आप सबके लिए. It doesn't matter if you are a male or a female. It doesn't matter. No. This is, you'll be surprised to know when I tell you that breast cancer is the largest cancer in India. Largest cancer in India. And majority of people out there in urban and rural areas are unaware. We need awareness. And the purpose of this session today is to make you aware. It's not to scare you, but to make you aware. दोस्तों, कुछ डेटा शेयर करता हूं आपसे. And I was shocked when I came across this data, and hence I realized that this topic need to be a part of this summit. We cannot have a 30-day summit not talking about this topic, this sensitive topic, which is breast cancer, one of the largest cancers in India. Unbelievable. It says, listen to me now, and your heart will sink when you hear this. It says every 4 minutes in India, every 4 minutes, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer. And on top of that, every 13 minutes, breast cancer takes the life of one woman in India. This is data, this is stats. Every 13 minutes, we lose a mother or a sister or a wife or a daughter. We lose somebody in India because of breast cancer. And what I have learned from the expert that I'm bringing to you today in this summit, what I've learned is that we can avoid this. We can avoid this. If you are aware on this topic, we can avoid this. Now, I want to move ahead, and I want to tell you that breast cancer is although this is the largest cancer in India, but you'll be surprised to hear that it is also called as the best cancer. Best. It is breast cancer, but also known as the best cancer. आप हैरान हो जाएंगे ये जानकर, ये समझकर, ये सुनकर कि इसे बेस्ट कैंसर, किसी कैंसर को हम बेस्ट कैसे कह सकते हैं. लेकिन मैं, the expert who is joining us today will tell us why this is also called as the best cancer to have. दोस्तों, मैं आपके सामने इंट्रोड्यूस करने जा रहा हूं, मैं आपके सामने लेकर आया हूं आज a very notable, very well respected personality. She is the CEO of Prashanti Cancer Care Mission. She's the founder member of First Pink Ribbon Support Group. First. She's the recipient of many national and international awards, including Ray of Hope by Asian Breast Cancer Congress. She was also awarded by Times of India as Women Icon Award in year 2018. I have with me none other than the #1 best-selling author of the book Triumph Over Breast Cancer. She is the one and only Lale Busheri. Lale, welcome to the program.
Good evening, Nitin. How are you? And good evening, all the viewers.
Good evening, Lale. Glad to have you here. Thank you so much for agreeing to be here in this summit.
Thank you for having me.
But thank you very much for coming here today and agreeing to share some ideas and insights on this very important topic, breast cancer.
Thank you.
Lale,
Thank you very much. मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ, a lot of people must be a little surprised, if I may say that way. A success summit, we have a breast cancer topic. Well, I believe this is important because it's about women health. Yeah, Lale, I want to hear it from you. Why
And
people
Nitin,
need?
there's no success if your population is not healthy, right?
Yeah,
So
there
they
is no
say health is wealth. They say health is wealth, and without health, there's no success in anything.
and indeed, and you can get that, friends. You can get that straight away. There is no success, right? There cannot be success if somebody in your family, in your anybody around you, if you see that they're diagnosed with breast cancer, if you see that we lose them because of breast cancer, what success are we talking about then? Lale, I want to just quickly ask you this question. I said, and I came to know about it from you, that this is the largest cancer in the country. Largest cancer? Is
It's the
it?
largest cancer in the world, all over, whether it's America, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, everywhere. It holds the largest pie in the world. In India, it holds more than 50% of the pie. And over 168,000 new cancers are picked up every year in India for only breast, out of which, unfortunately, more than 50% succumb to it.
That's
Purely
interesting.
because of lack of awareness, and the women come very late in our country. They do not know what the signs and symptoms are of early breast cancer. They get missed, and they come very late.
Right. And Lale, I want to ask you this. A lot of men,
Yeah.
they're a part of this session. They will be listening to this program. And the moment they see breast cancer written on top of the video, the moment they see that the topic is breast cancer, I want you to say something to all the men who are listening
Men
to
get
us.
breast cancer too. Men get
Yeah.
breast cancer too. Yes. Men get breast cancer too. It's a much less compared to the wound, but you get male breast cancer too. And the signs and symptoms are more or less the same. And in fact, in a male breast cancer, it's very easy to pick it up because you don't have an enlarged breast. So if there is a lump, if there is a rash, if there's a discharge, it's very very easy to pick up. And men do get breast cancer too. And I also feel the awareness for the men who are hearing this topic. It's very important for them to relate the details to their family members, their mothers, their sisters, their wives, their ladies in the house, and to create that awareness that they can spread it further.
Indeed, indeed. And Lale, why do we call it as the best cancer? No cancer can be called as. Why do we call it best cancer too?
Because the breast cancer can be completely cured. If it's picked up before stage 2, it's completely cured. And unfortunately, in our country, we don't pick it up early. We pick it up at stage 3 and 4. And breast cancer has 5 stages, not 4 stages. Stage 0 comes when you get a lump. It's still not a full-blown cancer. It's a pre-cancer. And for it to become stage 1 into a full-blown cancer, there's a window period of over 8 years.
I
Over
see.
8 years. And because the awareness is not there, which I want to share today, how to pick up an early cancer, because the awareness is not there, the woman or the men miss those signs and it's picked up later. But if picked up early in the first 2 stages, you do not even need chemotherapy. You just need an excision of a lump, and sometimes a lady may need radiation, and it's completely curable, and she can lead a completely full normal life without cancer recurring.
I mean, this is good to know that it is completely curable. Lale,
Yes.
I want to hear it from you. Everything that you want to share with me and the audience today on breast
Sure.
cancer. Over to you, Lale.
Thank you, Nitin. And good evening, everybody. I hope this is a very insightful, 20 or 30-minute session, which I want to run you through what is the stages of breast cancer, what you can do to avoid breast cancer, what are the early signs of breast cancer, how to do a self-breast examination, etc., etc. I want to start by telling you that breast cancer is getting younger in our country. And earlier you would see only premenopausal women in their late 40s or 50s, but now as time goes on, we see many more younger women with breast cancer, and it's a lifestyle disease which I will touch upon later. Breast cancer is the largest cancer in the pie in our country, with over 168,000 women getting affected, which are registered. In our villages and rural areas, we don't have good data collection, so there probably is much more. And approximately 3 minutes, one woman is picked up with breast cancer, and approximately 50% of the women picked up with breast cancer, we lose them because of late diagnosis. I just want to touch upon and let you generally know about cancer and lifestyle related cancers in India. So you will notice that in Gujarat and Rajasthan, you'll have a lot of head neck cancer because of tobacco chewing and pan masala. You'll find in Goa a lot of colon cancer because of spicy food and red meat and alcohol. In Punjab, you'll find a lot of, again, stomach cancers, kidney, urinary cancer, and breast cancer because a lot of pesticides being used in the wheat belt, in the wheat belt, and so on and so forth in different areas because of the different regions. Meghalaya is known as the Seven Sisters and is known to have the largest amount of cancer because of the barbecued food that they eat. So it's very well known that if you eat tandoori food and barbecued food, and if it has become charred, it's become black, or like your toast has become black, it is highly carcinogenic. So that is very much avoidable. Now, I just want to touch upon in India the situation of cancer, and not only breast cancer but all cancers. Bombay probably rates the number one in the largest incidence of breast cancer in the country. Second is Delhi, and Pune rates right down. Rates number three, and right down rates Aurangabad. Aurangabad is very close to Pune. It's about 2.5 hour drive. But why is it on the lower rung and we have less cancers in Aurangabad compared to Pune, which is around the center? Basically, it's lifestyle related, which I will touch upon and let you know as we go on. Now, comparison to the Western world in Europe and India, we pick up very late cancer, stage 3 and 4, unfortunately. So we lose a lot of lives because of the awareness is not there. While in Europe and America, you pick up very early cancers. In Europe and America, the cancers are mostly postmenopausal. The women are in their 60s, while in India, we are premenopausal. Most of the women are in their early 40s or mid 40s. 44 to 46 is the average range. Now, breast cancer has 5 stages. Stage 0 is when a lump comes into your body. If you're lucky and you are aware, you pick it up. If you're not lucky, you don't pick it up, and you reach stage 1. Till stage 1, from stage 0, there's more than an 8-year window period. Can you imagine more than an 8-year window period? And if you have an awareness, you're able to pick it up and go to a right doctor. Stage 1 is when the tumor is less than 2 centimeters and is contained in the breast wall. It's a very early cancer again. Stage 2 is when the tumor is more than 2 centimeters, again contained into the breast wall. And stage 3 is when the tumor has broken through the breast wall and it's gone to the nodes. And stage 4 is when the cancer has affected other organs in your body, like your head, your lungs, your kidneys, and your other vital organs. Now, there are many factors that you can avoid and you cannot avoid to pick up an early cancer. There are some risk factors that you cannot change and that are not in your control. For example, race and ethnicity. Some races and ethnicities have higher rates of cancer in our country. It's well known that among the Muslims, the Bori community and probably the Marwari communities, there are more higher rates and incidence of breast cancer. Early menarche and late menopause also are one of the reasons you are a high risk factor of breast cancer, meaning a girl getting her periods at the age of 9 or 10 and she menopause at 55. So her body is exposed to estrogen for a very large number of years. So her risk of getting breast cancer is much more compared to women getting her first periods at the age of 13 or 14 and her menopausing at the age of, say, 44 or 45. The body is exposed to much less breast cancer. Then radiation. In the olden days, a woman was exposed very often to a lot of radiation because of dental x-rays or thyroids or whatever. So that could also lead to a higher risk of breast cancer later in her or his life. Old age also is a high risk of breast cancer. The older you live, you probably are exposed and getting more chances of getting a cancer. But those cancers are very indolent and probably they don't gallop, they don't reach a fatal stage very soon. And then family history and genetics is another thing that you cannot change. So if there is a genetic predisposition in your family or a family history of breast cancer, and you then cannot change that, and there's not much you can do about it. Now I will touch upon what you can do and what are the risk factors that you can change. One of them is birth control pills. It's advisable not to have birth control pills over a long period of time because birth control pills at the end of the day are hormones, and your breast cancer is hormone related most of the times. Then obesity, of course, we all know that we should lose weight and not be overweight. There is a direct link, it is said, between the waist and breast cancer. So the larger your waist, the bigger the risk of breast cancer. Again, we all know sedentary lifestyle is not good. So there should be some movement. You should play some game or some sport or even go for a walk at least 3 to 4 times a week. Alcohol, minimum amount of alcohol intake. There are many papers that suggest a direct link between alcohol, wine, and breast cancer. And smoking, we are all aware and we all know that smoking is not good for you and is connected to many cancers, not just breast cancer. HRT and hormonal replacement therapy, the more I speak on it, I think it is less. Very often a woman during premenopause gets, her hair starts to fall, her skin gets dry, she gets night flushes, cold flushes, hot flushes, and she goes to her gynec, and very often she's given a long-term hormonal replacement therapy, which makes her feel very good immediately. But a long-term hormonal replacement therapy is one of the risk factors for a cancer. And it's always said it's better not to have a child than to have the first child after 30 or to have a late child, the first late child. And breastfeeding is very, very important. It's ideally 1 year. Otherwise, at least 6 months, breastfeeding is one of the risk factors that can prevent breast cancer if you breastfeed. Now, what are the early signs and symptoms that you should look out for in a breast cancer? Normally, you should look out for a lump on your breast, or you should look out for the nipple that gets inverted, it goes inward. Or you should be looking out for a dimpling in your breast, or a rash, or the skin becoming rough like a nail file with antibiotics or with treatment from your general family physician. It's not healing after a couple of weeks, or the skin changing, or a dripping or a blood discharge, or a clear white discharge. Just a clear white discharge or a blood discharge is probably one of the early signs of breast cancer. A discharge of milk, any other color discharge, yellow discharge, green discharge is probably just an infection and is not an early sign of breast cancer. But a blood discharge or clear water discharge would be a need for you to go and meet your doctor. Most of the time we find women pick up the lump with a self-breast examination, or they pick it up very often with their malish walis also. So what is the best way to do a self-breast examination? Every single month, if you are getting your periods, you should 5 to 7 days after your periods, you should do a self-breast examination. And if you have menopause, then any time of the month is a good time. How do you do a self-breast examination? You should not be doing a self-breast examination with your dry fingers because you're not a qualified nurse. You will get worried and disturbed because you'll keep finding breast tissue and you'll think that's a cancer. So ideally, a self-breast examination by a lay person should be done in their shower with a lot of soap on their body. And you normally lift your left hand up and use your right hand under your arm. You do not use the tip of your fingers and do not use the base of your hand. You use the flat of your palm to examine. You normally go from your left hand up and your right hand goes from under your arm, and you go clockwise round your breast and you go under anti-clockwise. You will feel like a marble in a bag of rice if there is a lump. It's very easy to pick it up when you have soap on your body. And then likewise, you do it for the other hand, your right hand up and your left hand under your arm, where your nodes are normally of your breast, and you go clockwise and then you go anti-clockwise in your shower. Then you very gently squeeze your nipple. If you find a clear water discharge or you find a bloody discharge, that is probably one of the first signs of early breast cancer. This is a very, very vital and important, very, very important tool in your hand, which takes 2 minutes, it costs nothing, and you're able to pick up an early cancer if there is a problem. What happens if you're not able to do this and you do not want to do it? Then you need to go for some prevention or diagnostics. A woman who's below 40 years old needs a self-breast examination either by herself or a qualified nurse, or she can go for a sonography. And a woman who's above 40 should go in for a mammogram once a year. The mammogram should be a mammogram which is a 3D mammogram along with tomosynthesis. In a very lay way, a tomosynthesis is a machine that gives you multiple slices of your breast. So there's a very small lesion hiding behind many layers of your breast and your breast tissue. Indians have dense breasts. So there's a lump behind many layers of your dense breast. It's very easily picked up by a tomosynthesis. Now, what happens if there's a lump found and it's not a cancer? Most of the lumps are not cancer, by the way. It's not a cancer and it's a fibroid or a cyst. A fibroid or a cyst is normally not to be removed. It's to be observed every year by a doctor. And if it's growing every year, then it will be excised. Again, I keep saying that a fibroid and cyst is not to be removed by a surgical incision, by cuts, by stitches on your breast. It is basically stitchless, scarless removal of a fibroid and cyst by a WAB machine. Today, most high-end breast centers have a WAB machine. It doesn't take more than 15 minutes. It's guided by a computer. The needle goes into your breast, the thin needle. It excises the entire fibroid and cyst if it's supposed to be removed, and it completely clears it out. So please make sure if your doctor tells you that you need open surgery for a fibroid and a cyst, that is not the case, and you need to probably go and consult another doctor. Now, what is the right form of a biopsy? In case there is a cancer and you need to go and have a biopsy, you should make sure it's a needle biopsy. You do not have an open biopsy, meaning there should be no stitches on your breast. There should not be a cut on your breast. A needle biopsy is just by a thin needle, goes through and excises a couple of tissues from that lump, and it sends it for a test. As I've told you again, that cancer, most of the lumps are not cancer. If it's a cancer, then you have to have a needle biopsy. If your report comes and it is a positive for cancer, then you need treatment. Now, there are many kinds of breast cancer that I don't want to touch upon, and it's very technical. So there's a triple negative breast cancer, there's ER-PR, ER negative. All I just want to say in a very simple way that many cancers today do not need chemotherapy. They need a hormonal tablet for 5 to 7 years, like Armidex, or there are different tablets for different types, and you probably do not even need chemo in many cases. You just need surgery and you need radiation along with the long-term treatment. Now, I've noticed that many women, when they find a lump, they don't go to the doctor because they're scared that they will lose their breast. Today, the gold standard of treatment all over the world is that you're not supposed to be mastectomized, meaning you're not supposed to be left without a breast. In most of the times, the lumpectomy, the lump is removed, and the lump is removed in such a way, very aesthetically, basically not damaging the breast, not giving her cuts. The cuts are given under the fold of the breast or in the underarm, or it's given around the areola, which is the delicate skin around the nipple, which is the thin skin. In case for some reason the woman's breast has to be removed, then today her breast is reconstructed at the same time as the cancer is removed. That means the moment her cancer is removed, the breast is reconstructed either with implant or with fat from her stomach or with a flap from her back, and her breasts are made to look much better than when she went in for surgery. As you are aware that most of the women going in for breast cancer around in their 40s, the breasts have sagged and the breasts are lifted at the same time, and she's given a better cosmesis, making sure that she has a better quality of life. She doesn't get depressed. She's able to lead a better life than before she went in for the treatment. So, and her sexual health and her depression, everything is maintained and taken care of. So that's the way forward today. Mastectomy is not acceptable. It's not the gold standard of treatment. And this kind of surgery and reconstruction is also known as oncoplastic surgery. It offers the patients much more choices. It improves her cosmetically, gives her a better psychological outcome, better functioning of her daily functioning, and a much longer term survival. There are many papers today to prove that if a woman's breast has been reconstructed and she is whole again, she has a long-term, prolonged term of survival. We all have heard of Angela Jolie and a prophylactic surgery. So I will touch upon a little bit on hereditary breast cancer. Hereditary breast cancer is only 5% of the cancers. So if you have more than 2 family members in your family, approximately between the age of 45 and 50, below 50, who've had a cancer, then probably you need to meet a counselor. And the counselor will draw up a family tree for you and check whether you need a genetic test. A genetic test is a very simple test. It's only a blood test. It takes approximately 3 weeks for the report to come. And then your doctor will, according to your test, advise you how you need to follow up and how they will manage you. So that is very important. I also want to let you know that there are a lot of myths about breast cancer. Very often when I give a talk and there are questions, many women ask me that does an underwire bra cause breast cancer? Does wearing a bra at night cause breast cancer? Does sleeping with a bra at night cause breast cancer? No, there's absolutely no scientific evidence that any of these cause breast cancer. Very often I'm asked that sugar causes breast cancer. Sugar directly does not cause breast cancer. But we all know that if you are diabetic and if you have high sugar, it doesn't allow healing. And at the same time, sugar is interconnected with a lot of diseases. So indirectly, it affects your health. It leads to many UTIs. It leads to not healing after surgery. It causes you to put on a lot of weight. Weight and breast cancer are connected, interrelated, so on and so forth. So these are a lot of myths that I would like to bust and let all of you know. I think I'm mostly done for a general person about the signs, symptoms, what you can do to avoid breast cancer, what is a self-breast examination, and what is the scenario of breast cancer in India. I didn't want to take you through the whole technical part of it. I just wanted to give the community a very general talk where you could basically know everything that you need to know to create awareness. So I hope you're able to share with your loved ones that they should do a self-breast examination every month, 4 or 5 days after their periods, or 6 or 7 days after their periods. If they've menopaused every month at a particular time, how to do the self-breast examination, which I have explained to you in a very simple way. What are the signs to look out for? Discharge, water, blood, nipple inverted, dribbling, a rash that does not heal, or the skin becoming rough. Things that you can do to avoid alcohol, smoking, avoid weight gain, hormonal replacement therapy for long term, birth control pills for long term. Things that you can't avoid, I've already told you. And you should be aware that if you have a cyst or a fibroid, it's not to be touched unless it's growing. If it is growing, no doctor should do an open surgery on you, meaning cut you up, have stitches. You should go to a center where there is a machine which can extract that without stitch and without any scars. So stitchless and scarless procedures, a daycare procedure in a clinic, in a breast clinic. And in case you have a cancer where you have multiple lumps, or it's a stage where the breast has to be removed, find a doctor who's trained to reconstruct your breast at the same time with your own body fat or with an implant, making you look cosmetically better when you open your eyes. So your cancer is gone and you also look better and you feel better. So there's a longer term of survival. Okay, thank you very much. So I think I'm done.
Thank you very much, Lalit. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. I think it was very informative. It was very
Thank
informative,
you.
especially the myths part that you touched, the myths part.
Right.
And yeah, I'm sure the audience, they learned, they became aware, and irrespective of whether the audience here, or if you're a male, if you're a female, it doesn't matter. Let me know in the chat box, everyone. Let me know in the chat box if you found this session informative, if you found this session important as far as the Superpower Success Summit is concerned. Let us know in the chat box. I believe that we all be aware of breast cancer because it is, as she said, the largest cancer in India. A few questions for you, Lalit.
Sure.
If I may, yeah. Any connection of breast cancer with breastfeeding?
No, actually, the long term you breastfeed, the less the chances of breast cancer. I had explained on one of the things right now that what you can do to avoid breast cancer. Ideally, you should be breastfeeding for a year or minimum 6 months. If you definitely breastfeed for a year or longer, that's one of the least chances of you getting breast cancer. So it's very, very important to breastfeed.
Yep, important indeed it is, friends. And I want all of you who are listening to us, in case you have any question on this important subject topic, feel free to put that in the chat box. I'll be happy to pick some of your questions. Lali, you've been working in this field for decades now, right? It's been a long time, and Prashanti Cancer Care Mission, I know about it. I want to just ask you a little bit about the work that you are doing in Prashanti. What sort of work are you doing, and how it's impacting the world at large? Please let us know something about Prashanti and the work.
Prashanti was started 25 years ago by Dr. Kopikar, who was a cancer surgeon. And he realized that many patients came to him who were poor and couldn't afford any treatment. So as a surgeon, all he could do was operate free, but he couldn't help them with chemotherapy or radiation or support or counseling or any diagnostics. So Prashanti was born with originally Kajol's mother, Tanuja, Jagjit Singh, few cancer survivors and patients, and they got together and they basically started Prashanti, where there were no funds, and we used to collect newspapers from schools and colleges in bulk. Students used to bring it, and we used to sell it and be able to treat a couple of patients every month. Today, by God's grace, it's grown into a fledgling organization. We receive a lot of CSR, And we have huge verticals. So we have buses that go around. We have free screening in the busties, in the schools, in the colleges, in the mental asylum, in the police, in the jails, everywhere. And anyone is picked up with breast cancer, we bring them to our center and they're treated completely free. Women come from all over the country for free treatment and they are not charged at all. Diagnostics is free over here, chemotherapy, everything is free. We have a in-house pharmacy and everything. And we also have now a large vertical for research today, and we have many PhDs working with us. Just to touch upon it very gently, triple negative breast cancer is called TNBC. It's one of the worst forms of breast cancer. It's very aggressive. When the women get it, it normally reoccurs, and there's high rate of mortality with it. And it's about 8 or 9% only in the Western world and European world, but it comes to nearly 30% in India. We still don't know why it's recurring so much in our country. We're actively doing the research to be able to pick up and to be able to find our own line of treatment for the Indian woman. We've also set up the first biobank over here, Nitin, in Pune for breast cancer. And so a lot of research is going on. And so there are many verticals where we take care just to.
That's really interesting and that's really amazing. Lale, I want to really give you a round of applause for the work. And everybody here want to give you a round of applause for the amazing work.
You've also been a part of my journey that for the last few years. You know.
I consider myself fortunate that we got in touch and you made me aware and sensitive on this topic, and we decided that it got to be a part of this summit. I want everybody connected with us to know about this. Lale, what has been some? I'm sure you must have seen a lot of women getting breast cancers, then getting treated, overcoming this life-threatening thing, and eventually must be leading normal life today. I'm sure you must have come across some inspiring stories. Did you want to share any story, anything that comes to your mind when I ask about a survivor success story?
You'll be surprised. My favorite story is not of a breast cancer. It's of a boy whom we treated for blood cancer. A few years ago, he was in his 10th standard and he came with blood cancer, and we took care of him. We adopted him for free treatment. And in our daycare, he would be taking his chemo in the morning, and 2 o'clock in the afternoon was his paper. We all counseled him, it's not important to give your exam next year, take care of yourself and your treatment. And he was a mango baby. We used to call him a mango baby. We all loved him at the clinic, and we used to all bring him from home, cut mangoes, mango milkshake, whatever. And he would take his treatment with the chemo on one hand, on the other lap was his book. And he would study, and the exams got over in March, and we forgot about it because every day we have so many patients, and time passed on. And in June, one day he came rushing into the clinic and he hugged all of us and he bought a box of mithai. And I said, "Oh, obviously you've passed." And he says, "This is my certificate." And he came first in Maharashtra. Wow. He came in first in Maharashtra, and his mother is a maid in someone's house around the corner. That lady sent him to me. He doesn't have a father. And today you will not believe it. He's passed his CA in the first shot. I'm very much in touch with him. It's about 6, 7 years now. And he's very well placed in a CA firm, and he's doing extremely well for himself. And he's actually an orphan with only a mother who's a housemaid doing, sweeping, swabbing in someone's house, staying in the outhouse, and he came first in Maharashtra. It's unbelievable. There are many stories, but this one has really taken it.
Unbelievable. And the stories that you've covered in the book, Lale, Triumph Over Breast Cancer, every single one of these stories so inspiring, friends. I want to urge all of you to read this book, Triumph Over Breast Cancer, and she's working on her next book, which is going to be released in the month of November. And I really, that was really.
I'm working on the third book now, Nitin. I really started with the third book. The second is come to you. Now
thank you so much for giving this opportunity to us to serve you and the community, Lale, through you. Thank you so much. There's this question which is coming in, and the question is, how should a woman deal with the psychological aspect post-detection? Yeah, psychological aspects. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So, the moment the detection comes and you have a diagnosis of cancer, it completely spins the entire family into a dizzy. But naturally, when you hear the word cancer, the first fear that comes into your mind, whether you like it or not, is that, am I going to survive? Am I going to make it? What's going to happen to my children? What's going to happen to my spouse? Everyone gets involved, and it's a bewildering maze of challenges that this disease brings to its wake, and it's extremely difficult for everyone. I always feel that it's very, very important for support from family and friends. That is one of the only reasons I put together the Pink Ribbon Support Group, which we have in Pune. So, you need to get in touch with other patients who've gone through the same trauma, and for them to come around to give you suggestions and to help you, to handhold you through this disease completely. I also think it's very, very important to find a good counselor who you can talk your fears through. And it's very, very important to talk to other patients who've gone through the same kind of cancer, like a triple negative or a ERPR, or what kind you've gone through, or what kind of surgery you're going to go through, whether it's a reconstruction, lumpectomy, whatever, that they can tell you what are the pros, what are the cons, and they can help you. And I think it's the whole disease is very much mind over matter, very, very much. So if you get low and you get depressed, then you're not able to fight the disease, and the immunity is low. Then you're not able to fight the side effects of the treatment either. So you have to stay mentally strong, and you have to have support from either a counselor or very, very close family or friends. It's very important.
It is indeed.
It's a very good question. Very, very good question. Because very often the girl who's been detected, or the man detected, he's not able to share with his family, because he's frightened for them, or she's frightened for them. So they're not able to share their fears and thoughts with the family. So it's very important to be able to find a counselor, or to find other patients who've gone through this whole battle, and they're able to kind of guide them.
Indeed. Anjan, thank you very much for asking this question. And thank you, Lale, for answering it. Lale, you travel across the globe. You travel for conferences, awareness sessions on every platform related to this topic across the globe. I have this question in my mind. When you see breast cancer, the awareness or the concern, when you compare other countries with India, how's this comparison, if you want to make it, with other countries and in India? Do you see people here in India not aware, not too concerned? Do you see in other countries, especially in Western countries, women or people more aware of it? How's this comparison? Just want to hear it from you.
Absolutely. It's a fabulous question, Nitin. I think in our country, unfortunately, there's no awareness. And also, you do not want to learn about awareness till it hits you at home very hard. Unless you don't find a problem in your own house, you're not searching for that. So you'll find that if you are having a talk on makeup or clothes or fashion or something, you'll have a huge audience. Everyone thinks cancer is happening in someone else's home, not in my house.
True.
So yes, I think we need to do a lot more for awareness to bring down the rate. And one of the European countries had a very high rate of breast cancer, and they made it compulsory for prevention, for screening. And they linked the screening, the mammography, with the income tax returns. So if you haven't screened that year, you cannot file your income tax returns. So I think it's very, very important for screening in India. And we have many challenges in our country, Nitin. Very often doctors nowadays become very commercial, if I may say so. It's misguided. Sometimes the women in India go to a gynac when she has a female problem. She's not able to go to a right doctor. And they do not know much about cancer, and they, delay. And very often in India, people go to, like an Ayurvedic or, many other, I've seen that. I've written in my book with Nawaz Siddiqui's sister. So you lose precious time. So I think there's a lot. In India, it's a long journey still, and absolutely a long journey to create that awareness. Absolutely.
And hence we wanted to have this session, because we wanted to make people aware. Every single one of you are listening to us right now. You are aware of it. Make other people aware. Your relatives, your friends, discuss about it. It's the largest cancer in India. You got to discuss about it. It's important. Awareness. Awareness can help. Early detection can help. And that's exactly what we learned today. Lale, a lot of people who be listening, who are listening, may have this. They have this question in their mind. In case they want to contact you, Prashanti, how can they get in touch with you? And
you can share my number. I'm always available. My personal number. I pick up all calls. I return all messages, and I believe in that personal contact. So you're more than welcome to share my number. Yeah.
All right.
You
Thank
can
you so
WhatsApp me
much,
back.
Lale. We'll
Thank you.
definitely be sharing. So, friends, anybody who needs, I would like to put it on the public format, but in any case, any one of you listening to us need help, want to get in touch, reach out to us. And the email IDs, I would request Ridhima to put our email IDs there or our numbers there, Ridhima. Anybody who's genuinely interested may reach out to us and we'll share the numbers and all the details of Lale Busheri. Lale, thank you so much for taking your precious time out, coming here today and making this so special for the entire community of the Superpower Success Summit. I want to a sincere thanks to you, a heartfelt
Thank you,
gratitude.
Nitin, for having me and for the audience for taking their time out. And until we meet again, Nitin. God bless. Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much. Thank you. Friends, that was Lale Busheri for all of you. And I don't know anybody better than her talking on this topic. I got an opportunity to work with her for this book, Triumph Over Breast Cancer. This book, the foreword of the book, and the book was launched by none other than actress Kajol, her mother Tanuja ji, Nawazuddin Siddiqui, and it was a grand launch that happened. She's working on a second book now. She said she'll be coming up with a third book pretty soon, and she's on a mission. She's on a mission to help women, not just in India, across the globe, beat breast cancer, spread awareness on this topic. And you heard the incredible work that Prashanti Cancer Care Mission is doing. We want to salute her. We want to salute Prashanti, Dr. Kopika, and everybody who is a part of the work that they are doing. It was our effort, friends. I won't stretch this session too much. It was our effort to make you aware of this very sensitive yet very important topic, breast cancer. You should talk about that in your house. You should get timely, you should visit doctors timely, and you should get a routine checkup done. It's important. Don't avoid it. I want to tell all of you, I lost a very close family member due to breast cancer, and I've felt the pain. I've seen the pain that the family goes through. Do not avoid it. Do not ignore it. This session was to make you aware, and I want you to aware other people now. I hope by the end of this session, you now understand, because we were getting a lot of questions from a lot of people. Sir, Superpower Success Summit में breast cancer, ये थोड़ा fit in नहीं हो रहा. ये थोड़ा fit in. अगर मैं, if I could take all the decisions, it should be the first topic of the session, right? Of the entire summit. दोस्तों, आशा करता हूं कि आज का ये सेशन से आपको लाभ पहुंचेगा, आपको बेनिफिट होगा, आप समझेंगे और अवॉइड करेंगे. I want you to avoid smoking. I want you to, as she said, and I was taking my notes, avoid drinking. It increases your chances of getting breast cancer, and take care of your weight. Don't be overweight. It increases the chances of breast cancer, and it is and in case you find anybody who is detected with breast cancer, please make a note that it's curable. It's completely curable. Spend time with them. Take care of their mental health. Keep them happy and help them beat breast cancer and live a normal life. Don't be surprised if I tell you that veteran actress Mumtaji is a breast cancer survivor. Manisha Koirala, the famous actress, is a breast cancer survivor. Lisa Ray. There are a few names that I have here. Sonali Bendre, and then Mahima Chaudhary. I hope I'm pronouncing all the names correctly. Mahima Chaudhary, we all came to know recently that she had breast cancer. So, dosto, this is important, and let's not avoid it. I hope this session helped. I want to say thank you so much, all of you, for coming here today, learning about breast cancer. Now spread awareness. Yeah, जो कुछ भी आप इस summit में सीख रहे हैं, ये नहीं कि आपने सीखा और उसे अपने दिल में, अपने दिमाग में कैद कर लिया. उसे आपको उतना ही जोरों शोरों से स्प्रेड करना है जैसे हम करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, for free, no charge whatsoever. So please spread this. This is for you. And if you contribute by spreading this knowledge, it will be a great service to the society and India. Thank you so much. Take care. See you tomorrow, 7 p.m. One more expert, one more topic will be waiting for you. Bye for now.
Let me call upon stage Nitin Soni.
Louder, louder, louder. Come on, louder.
दोस्तों, success in any field is 70% psychology and 30% mechanics. किसी भी फील्ड में, in whatever field you choose, success is all about 70% psychology and 30% mechanics.
मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं, विराट कोहली ने सेंचुरी मारी थी क्या डेब्यू में? अच्छा, सचिन तेंदुलकर ने मारी थी? अच्छा, धोनी ने मारी थी? But all of these three individuals are legends. In spite of the fact that they did not score century on debut. Even if you are not able to score century on debut, you can still become a legend if you take few things right. Understand this.
Why do you want to become what you want to become? Why do you want to get that success? Why do you want to get that degree? Why do you want to become a rank holder? Why do you want it? Answer your why.
They are compromising on their potential. You have amazing potential in you. Why do you want to restrict it? You're not supposed to restrict your potential. Warren Buffett has 97 different streams of income. 97. And the day I realized, the day I noticed it, I said, 97? What the hell?
What is the difference? The difference is in their psychology. That's where the entire difference lies. That's the main thing. You need to understand your psychology, your mindset. Usme kya chal raha hai? That's what you need to focus.
Excellent. And I knew I would be the top scorer in the institute. And that's exactly what I did. Each and every paper that I gave, when I came back home, I said, I'm ready for the next one. And I did that. Ready for the next one. Did that. Then I waited for my results. And on the results day, what did happen? I failed. What is it that I can do now? At the best I can study. At the best I can put in the hard work. At the best I can do whatever is possible for me to do. What else can I do?
He actually looked at the big portrait of Mount Everest and he said, Mount Everest, I know you are failing me. But the more and more you fail me, the more and more I'm getting determined that one day I'm going to stand on top of you. Do you know why, Sir Edmund Hillary said? He said, do you know why? Because you, even as Mount Everest, cannot grow any further. But I, as a human being, will keep growing. That's my message to you. Keep growing. No matter what Mount Everest you want to climb in your life, you can. If you have the right mindset and if you do not let your fingers enter your mind, God, because it's your responsibility, friends. It's your responsibility. Nobody else is going to work hard for you. Nobody else is going to bring your dream in a silver plate and say, hey, here is your dream, enjoy. No, that's never going to happen. You will have to work hard. You will have to put in the hard work. You will have to burn the midnight oil. You will have to make your dream come true. The responsibility is yours. I cannot do your push-ups for you, can I? Can I? Of course not. You will have to do your push-ups.
What do? You notice that you are not the only one who is watching that dream. You are not the only one having that dream inside you. When there are 1,000 other mothers who are having the same dream for their sons, what do you do to make the dream of your mother come true? You outwork your competition. You outwork your competition. You get up early. You work harder. You stay longer. You do whatever it takes. You got to overwork. You got to outwork. You got to outsmart everybody else. Because if you don't do it, someone else is going to do it. If you don't do it, someone else is going to do it. If you are not getting up early, someone else is getting up early. And he is going to grab your position. He's going to grab your position. Understand this. You got to outwork your competition. If it means doing anything that you have not done till date, you should be interested in doing it. Learning techniques, learning facts, programming your subconscious, whatever it may be. Be ready to outwork your competition.
My intensity multiplied. My hunger multiplied. My seriousness multiplied. I prepared like hell. I was actually doing things that nobody around me was doing. I was studying for 12 hours a day and I said, no matter what happens on the results day, I'm going to give my best shot in this again. I studied like anything. And I did all those test papers, working, studying over and over and over again. I revised over and over and over again. And I gave my exams to the best of my ability. On all the results in the screen said, pass.
Unless and until you answer your whys, you will not be able to remain motivated. You need motivation? Answer your whys. Answer your whys. Why do you want to do what you want to do? Is it because of your father? You want to make your father's dream come true? Is it because of your mother? Your mother is looking a dream for you and you want to make her dream come true? Is it because of your siblings, your brother, your sister, your other family members? Or is it probably because yourself? You say, I want to become rich because I want to prove to the world that I am a rich person and I'm not a poor person. You got to answer your whys. Why do you want to become what you want to become? Answer your whys. Because this is exactly where motivation lies. What are you waiting for? Whatever it takes. Even if it takes for you to learn something, learn it. If it takes for you to work hard, work hard. If it takes for you to get up early in the morning, get up early in the morning. If it takes for you to work in day in and day out, do it. He was a world heavyweight champion in boxing, Mike Tyson. डरते थे लोग उसके नाम से. और Mike Tyson won 37 fights back to back. अपनी लाइफ की पहली फाइट से लेकर 37 फाइट्स तक माइक टाइसन हर एक फाइट जीतता गया. एक भी फाइट वो नहीं हारा. और पीपल यूज्ड टू स्वेट बाय हिज नेम. डरते थे लोग उसके नाम से. 37 फाइट लगातार जीतना इज नो गेम. एंड ही वाज द वर्ल्ड हेवीवेट चैंपियन. 37 फाइट लगातार जीतने के बाद जो 38वीं फाइट उसकी थी वो थी अगेंस्ट जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस. और ये जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस कौन था? कुछ भी नहीं. अ नॉर्मल बॉक्सर, वेरी नॉर्मल बॉक्सर. कभी भी अपने लाइफ के अंदर हेवीवेट चैंपियन नहीं बना. कभी भी उसने कोई बहुत बड़ी चैंपियनशिप नहीं जीती. वेरी नॉर्मल बॉक्सर. 38th मैच माइक टाइसन का अगेंस्ट जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस. It was a one-sided match. They said Mike Tyson is going to win anyways. सारा मीडिया हैरान, सारी दुनिया हैरान. Mike Tyson lost the match. 38th fight, Mike Tyson lost it. How come? ये कैसे हो सकता है? सारा का सारा मीडिया पागलों की तरह जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस के पीछे. बस्टिन डगलस, ये तुमने किया कैसे? How did you just won against Mike Tyson? Impossible. How could you do the impossible? ये किया कैसे तुमने? He said, before this match, my mother declared to the world that her son is going to beat Mike Tyson. She declared it to the world, to the relatives, to the friends, everybody, and she was extremely happy. और जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस ने कहा, माँ क्या कर रहे हो? Why are you doing that? I'm not too sure. She said, you are not sure. I am sure because I believe in my son. My son is going to beat the hell out of Mike Tyson, and my son is going to win. He said, it was my mother's dream that I beat Mike Tyson. It was my mother's dream that I become the world champion. It was my mother's dream that I become a true champion in my life by beating Mike Tyson. And not just Mike Tyson, whoever it may be. And my mother died 2 weeks before this match. He said, my mother died 2 weeks before this match. And I wanted to make her dream come true. He said, I wanted to make her dream come true. Mike Tyson के अलावा अगर वहां पर 100 Mike Tyson भी होते, उसके बावजूद मैं ये मैच जीतता. Because it was my mother's dream and I wanted to fulfill my mother's dream.
ये सोचता है कि मैं स्पेशल नहीं हूं. अगर यहाँ एक भी सोचता है कि मैं वर्दी नहीं हूं, मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है उससे कि आज की शाम अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ बिता लेना. आज की शाम तन्हाई में अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ बिता लेना और आपकी माँ, आपके पिताजी आपको बताएंगे कि आप कितने स्पेशल हो. There is nobody in the entire world who has a fingerprint like you.
Luck, नसीब. कई मैं से देखता हूं जो अपने नसीब को पकड़ के बैठते हैं, जो ये कहते हैं कि it's only and only because of my luck. If I'm failing, it's only because of my luck. नसीब की वजह से आपकी जिंदगी में कुछ नहीं होता. तो अगर 2 तरह के लोग हैं, बिलीव करते हैं नसीब, कुछ बिलीव नहीं करते नसीब के ऊपर. आप मुझे एक बात बताओ, अगर आपकी नसीब की वजह से ही सब कुछ होता है, अगर आपके लक की वजह से ही सब कुछ ये हो रहा है, तो मेहनत क्यों कर रहे हो? मेहनत करने की क्या जरूरत है? और अगर नसीब में नहीं लिखा तो मेहनत करके क्या उखाड़ लोगे? क्या उखाड़ लोगे? नसीब को लेकर के मत बैठो. जब आप अपने नसीब को देख करके कहते हो कि भाई कभी ना कभी तो चमकेगा, आपका नसीब आपको देख करके कहता है कभी तो समझेगा. आप नहीं समझते.
You command respect, power, recognition, social status, everything. It has amazing power. I am the king of the jungle now. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy.